Drake London, the wide receiver. He could be one of the best receivers in the league, and I think you're going to see it because he's not playing with Desmond Ridder, who was the quarterback last year. It wasn't that good. It is what it is.
Tons to talk about with you from the NFL world, but I do want to start with a couple of the teams that you've played for. So first, when it comes to the Falcons, I chatted with Kirk yesterday, and of course he's business as usual, but only had nice things to say about Michael Penix in the quarterback room. But the team, obviously, as you know, kind of no doubt put themselves in a little bit of an awkward situation by drafting the Washington quarterback. So how do you see this playing out? And also, how short of a leash do you think Kirk Cousins has or will be on?
I don't, because I love Kirk. I've loved Kirk for a long time. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's going out there and have success. Everywhere he goes, he puts up big numbers. And so I don't see him falling off. He's too good. He's been around too long. I just don't see it happening, especially because they got good players around him. They got Kyle Pitts, the tight end, who I think is going to bounce back and have a great season. Drake London, the wide receiver. He could be one of the best receivers in the league. And I think you're going to see it because he's not playing with Desmond Ridder, who was the quarterback last year. It wasn't that good. It is what it is. Now you're playing with a guy who's a really good quarterback, and you're going to see what these guys can do. And then Bijan Robinson in the backfield, guy's a dual threat. He could be one of the best running backs combos in the league. So Penix, I don't think he's going to play this year unless Kirk gets hurt. I don't see that happening. Honestly, I might not even see it happening next year. They gave Kirk that big contract unless they can trade him away or something to a team that needs him. But I think it might be one of those Jordan Love type situations or Aaron Rodgers with Brett Favre type situations where he's going to sit and learn behind a really good pro, or even maybe Alex Smith. Well, I guess that only lasted 1 year. Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. If Penix is just phenomenal in practice, and that's up to the coaches, we're not going to be able to see that where they're like, hey, we gotta let him go. We got to get rid of Kirk, and even though he's good, we got to go ahead and get rid of him because this kid is the future. He's a future Hall of Famer type guy. But otherwise, I see him sitting for a couple of years before he gets an opportunity, which is unfortunate. I would hate it if I was in his position, but that's just how it goes.
And you even mentioned him, but Kyle Pitts is entering his fourth season in the league, and I think we're also waiting for him to hit this huge breakout season. So do you think that this is finally the year we see him hit his potential, now that he has a more stable quarterback under center, or what do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think at the end of the year, there's going to be, unless injury happens, there's no excuses. This is a no excuse year. You got a good coordinator. You got a really good quarterback that's going to get you the ball. He's a unicorn as far as his physical stature. I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, you run a 4.4, you're 6'6", you're 260 pounds. You can jump, you're athletic. Like, the sky's the limit. This guy, I thought at the beginning when he first came to the league that he was going to be putting up monster numbers, 90 plus catches, 13, 14 touchdowns. I believe he has that ability physically, and we're going to see it this year. Like I said, there's no more excuses, so I can't wait. But I think he's going to do well. I think what is he, 23 years old now? He's always a little young, and I do think age is important. Now you're hitting that maturity, the mature years, that 23, 24, when, it's time for him, and hopefully he can have a great year.
Right. Heading over to the Chiefs now, another obviously Super Bowl or bust kind of a year for Mahomes, Kelce, and Andy Reid. So if they do pull it off again this year, it will be their third in a row and fourth in 6 years, which I feel like gives us no choice but to start talking about that, comparing them to that Patriots dynasty kind of a thing. But all that said, it is really hard to maintain greatness. So do you think that this team is realistically equipped to rattle off, one, maybe two more Super Bowls in the next few years?
I think so. I think right now they're the favorite in the NFL. I think if anybody picks against them, it's foolish. Honestly, foolish, because I think you're just trying to be a contrarian. You're trying to be like, I'm just going to pick something different, because right now they're better than they were last year. The defense is back. They lost one key player, but then see the DB, but they have young guys that they were like, okay, this guy is just as good, if not maybe even better. They've drafted so well. Brett Beach, he that's just what he's done. This is why he's been the best general manager in the business over the last 5 years. And then offensively, they are better than they were last year. Patrick Mahomes, I believe, should have an MVP year. If everybody stays healthy, he will be the MVP. with Andy Reid calling plays. You got Travis Kelce still playing outstanding, and then bringing in Hollywood. I mean, he's got weapons all over the place. And so I just don't see them being anything less than Super Bowl and Super Bowl champions just because number 15, Patrick Mahomes, he's the guy. He's been the guy for the last 4 years. And there's no reason to think that's going to change in the next 3 or 4 years. They're going to win this year, and they might even win next year if they stay healthy.
Right. Talking about Travis very quickly, if the Chiefs do continue this dynasty run, obviously he's going to be a big pivotal role in that. And that being said, with him getting older, he's got so many other things going on in his life between a mega superstar girlfriend. He just signed a $100 million podcast contract. It's almost hard sometimes for me to even sort through emails in the morning because I feel like I'm constantly getting something about Travis Kelce, you know? So in your opinion, do you think that he has what it takes to manage all of this and continue to play at a high level when you have, not, I want to say distractions, but you have so much other things going on, you know?
Well, you call them, they're distractions. And football demands a lot of focus. Football, as long as Travis can keep football at the top and everything else is secondary, everything. And a lot of people don't like to ever hear that. Like even your girlfriend, your family, like all that stuff has to fall underneath it because you can take care of everything if you play well. That's how it stops. It all rolls down. And so if he can keep that type of focus, but also Father Time gets all of us. It got me. It's going to get him. It's going to get Patrick. It gets Tom Brady. Does not matter. Eventually, your time will run out on how well you can perform. But Travis, he's 34. I still think he's got another 2 really good years, if not 3. And he has to be very diligent, you know, just wait in the weight room, getting to sleep, making sure you take care of your body. But yeah, I think he can do it. And I think he wants to do it. And so because he wants to do it, and I know he can do it, I think he's going to do it. I see him having great success this year and going out there and chasing that other ring.
Hey, sports fans, if you want to see more conversations with athletes and stars, check out these videos right here and be sure to subscribe for more from USA Today Sports.